is a story about bees. And it begins with a dad and his son, and the son's called Zachary, and the dad's getting old. Now the dad, he's got beehives. Oh, he's got beehives. Zachary thought he was a bit odd though, because he used to talk to the bees. Every evening he'd go down and tell them what was going on in the world. "Tah," said Zachary. "Dad's a bit bonkers. Shouldn't be doing that. Should be making lots of honey, making lots of money. That's what he should be doing." Now, Zachary's dad, he was getting a bit tired, and he decided it was time that Zachary took over looking after the bees. "Now, Zachary." "Yes, Dad?" "You look after the bees well. Now, make sure you put a little bowl of water nearby so they can get a drink." "Yes, Dad, I can do that." "And make sure you talk to the bees. Now, make sure they're sheltered so that there's not too much wind blowing past the hive. The bees won't like that." "Oh, yes, Dad." "Oh, and make sure you talk to the bees." "Now, Zachary, put a branch of juniper around. They like that. And lots of flowers. Grow the beans. They like the bean flowers. Grow the nasturtiums. They'll like those. Lavender. Oh, yes. Heather. Oh, lots of those. They're in the garden already. You've just got to look after them." "Yes, Dad." "And talk to the bees." Well, you can guess. Zachary, he was very good. Yeah, he looked after them. He put a bowl of water there for them to have a drink. But did he talk to them? No. He was good. He put a nice sheltered wall around to protect the beehives from the wind. But did he talk to the bees? Nope. He got juniper, he got heather, he got gorse, he got all sorts. He even planted an apple tree so he gets some apple blossom. But did he talk to the bees? Nope. Now, thing was, the bees decided to be a bit odd. Did they go buzzing around the garden, collecting the nectar, moving the... No, they did not. Oh. Now Zachary noticed something was odd. And he thought about all the things that he should do, and he thought, "I've done them all. I haven't talked to them, but that can't be it. Talking to the bees, that can't do anything." Now, one of the hives decided to swarm. Whoosh! It went up into the sky, a great ball. Thousands of bees it was. Now that was bad, but it got worse, because it went up over the hedge and down the chimney of Mrs. Dunwoody, who lived next door. Now, Mrs. Dunwoody, she bought lots of honey, she did, but she didn't like bees coming down her chimney. And Zachary, it was a terrible job to gather them all, put them in the skep, bring them back. Oh, dearie, 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 dearie. I must be doing something wrong. But did Zachary start talking to the bees? Nope, because that was silly. He was sitting there, though, by his garden gate, looking very sorry for himself, when zip, what's up with you? It was a strange gentleman that was walking down the lane. He was not that big, but his nose was long. He was quite wide, and even though it was hot, he had a furry coat on that was black and yellow stripes. And his eyes were big and dark. "Now, you's not looking very happy. What's up?" "Oh, it's my bees." "Oh, bees, is it? What's up with them?" "They're not foraging for the flowers, they're not gathering the nectar, they're not doing the pollen, they will not be making honey. And they're swarming off, they are." Well, have you put a bowl of water for them?" "Of course I have. Have you put some juniper and some fine smelling flowers round? Of course I have. Have you put shelter for them so they don't get too hot? Of course I have. And have you been talking to them? Oh, well, no, it's silly, that is. Oh, dearie, dearie, dearie. That's what's the problem. Talk to the bees. Go on. They'll like it. No. Well, Zachary thought about it, and he turned to talk again to the strange man, but he'd gone off. No sign of his black and yellow coat. No sign of his big long nose. And no sign of those great big dark eyes. Well, no one's looking, thought Zachary. I'll give it a go. And he went down to where the beehives were. And he felt very, very strange, but well, bees, it's been a difficult time. I did not enjoy going down that chimney to try and rescue you. And well, I'm a bit worried, actually. Yes. And I'm worried about the honey, you see. And I'm worried about Mrs. Dunwoody. She's not very happy, and I don't think she'll buy anything. But the birds are singing, that's nice. And they say they found the lost dog that's on the other side of the hill, so that's good. And he just talked. And the next evening he did the same. And he began to notice there was a different sound in the garden. There was a buzzing of busyness. And he was watching. Those bees were going in and out, and in and out. They were visiting his apple tree. They were visiting his neighbour's apple trees. They were going round all the flowers of the garden, poking in, gathering. Off they go. And that summer was a good one. And when he peeped inside the beehives, there was honey in the honeycombs dripping down. And when he gathered it, carefully mind, leaving some for the bees because they needed that, taking what he needed, spinning it out to get the honey into jars, even Mrs. Dunwoody forgave him for the swarm. She bought a couple of jars and the promise of more. Well, said Zachary, I know what I'm going to be doing in the future, and I bet you do too. Talk to the bees, I say. And that's the end.